Hello and welcome. I usually talk about these things every once in a while. As a tarot collector and someone who's fascinated with the history of tarot, there are certain decks that I like, or when I find out about them, I'm like, I gotta have it. I just got to. So, here's some things I think you should keep in mind. And this was sparked by my recent find and how I did it, how I accomplished it. Now, I don't have the deck that I bought here with me. It's being shipped from the UK, but let me tell you how I find decks that I really, really want. So, probably in the last, let's say, 8 years of really concentrating on collecting and building my collection, there's been very few decks that have made me like basically drool to get them. So I'll talk about that. So let's start off with this deck. I love Mantegna decks, and I wanted the earlier edition of the Il Meninghello. When they, in the 90s, they were doing these silken ribbon like folios, and I just love these. I love the stamp, almost like it's postage or taxed. The little wax seal is kind of broken off a little bit. This one is not signed, but it is numbered, like all Meninghello decks. But I really wanted this one. I used to have the Doty that was like this with the little ribbons, and I got rid of it, and I don't know why. So, but yeah, this was the one this year that I was looking for. When it came to, up, I grabbed it. I believe I paid, I think it was a buy it now. So I usually use eBay. So one of the tricks I use, there's 2 tricks I use for eBay. One, set an alert for an accurate search. So for this one, for the keywords, I did Meninghello and Mantegna, and that's it. You can have it so eBay will email you every time something's listed with that. It's not the best. Sometimes you'll get stuff with that's similar but not quite it. But when it's accurate, you're like, whoa, you're notified that there is that. The other thing is, if it's not buy it now, if it is a bidding, so you have to place bids, I highly recommend Gixen, Gixen.com. They are it's free sniping. You can pay if you want to. There's an extra like server you can use. It's like $7 a year. It's like nothing. But I have used that to swoop in at like the last 3 seconds to snatch something up. I know it's not good bidding ship, but if you want something, you want it. I believe I bought this one outright. If you want to know how much you're going to pay for something. So this deck I got for less than 100, and it's worth about 200 to 300. Maybe 200, yeah. I was thinking of the Valentina Visconti. This one I absolutely love. This one's is this a Soleone? What is this? I think it's Clegione Scarabeo Azzurro deck. This was an amazing shape. It's basically brand new. And I got this for a song, essentially. When I started to when I discovered this is the Scarabeo Tarocchi d'Arte, or the d'Arte edition. I absolutely fell in love with these. They did a few of these. It was usually in the 90s. If you were interested in like a deck, they had these like art cards, and these art cards are just big versions of. So this was 1991. They're just big majors in a slipcased edition. And two of my favorite decks during that period were Tarot dell'Immaginario by Frank Printer, which has been reprinted, and the Tarocchi del Third Millennium. And this one is also the D'Art edition. Let's see, what's the date on this one? It doesn't say. This one actually, I think there was a price underneath and they marked it out. This one came from Italy. This one I actually, the glue's kind of coming, that's okay. This one I went a little crazy for. I started posting on forums. I started doing lots of crazy stuff to try to get these majors, because I think they're absolutely some of the most modern. They are the most gorgeous modern trumps that I've ever seen. I absolutely fell in love with them. So it took me only 3 months to get this. It popped up, I found it, and it was Buy It Now, I believe. I think I made a video about it, how I was hunting this one. So, what did I hunt for this time and succeed? Well, I have one Scarlet Imprint deck. I bought new from them, I think it was 2019? It wasn't too long ago. Well, they put out a Solabusca deck, and I missed out on the Solabusca. I remember when it was available, and I'm like, I already have Solabusca decks. Well, you know, the Solabusca deck is pretty special. It's like a Mantegna deck. It's just its own little weird, quirky thing. And I set an alert for, what did I put? It was Solabusca Scarlet. I think that's all I did. Solabusca Scarlet. And I would get the book. And I've seen the book. I've looked at the book. The book is very academic, which is great. But I'm really not interested in the book. And the only copies available are in paperback. If you're familiar with Scarlet Imprint, they do like 3 editions, well 4 editions. They do a deluxe, a hardcover, a paperback, and an ebook. And the deluxe sells out like within a day usually. It's crazy. And they do beautiful, beautiful, beautiful binding with, I've seen python, I've seen goat skin, and the hardcover is usually fabric. And anyway, they had a special edition for the Solabusca with both the deck and the book, but I found the deck by itself. I'm not sure how many were made. I think it was either $750 or $999. You could be wrong, but it was a auction, and the seller was in the UK and was selling it for a price I could live with, nothing crazy. I missed out on the book, the paperback book, and the deck, I think late last year, and I kicked myself because it went for like $190 for both, which could have easily gone to $600 or $700. I missed out on it. I didn't bid high enough. This deck I wasn't going to miss out on, and I got it. I was the only bidder. A little bit more than I wanted to pay, essentially, but I had to remind myself that anything from Scarlet Imprint, it accrues in value. It's sort of a little investment. But really, I didn't spend, you know, a crazy amount. I spent, is it the most I've spent on a deck? Actually, it is. It's the most I've ever spent on a tarot deck. So I was kind of nervous, but when you want something and it's within reason, you know, you go after it. So I have it coming. I got it. Actually, I think the auction ended like at 3 in the morning. I woke up and I'm like, I could hear like at 3 when it ended, I heard my phone vibrate, and I'm like, oh, I'm not looking. I heard it vibrate again. I'm like, oh no. And then when I woke up in the morning, I looked at my phone and I'm like, I got it. I got it. So anyway, those are my tips. You can look on Tarot BG, I think .eu. That's Tarot Bulgaria. They have a lot of out-of-print decks. There's also Elita, and I've talked about these before. ABE Books. I really don't have a lot of ABE Books, abebooks.com. I don't have a lot of success with, but I have found a few things there. It's always eBay. Even Etsy. Etsy has sometimes some things, but really eBay. Set those alerts, and if there's something you want, go after it. If you want it bad enough, you'll get it. Just like this one. I absolutely adore this one. It's not signed. It doesn't say it was a limited edition, but you cannot find this hardly anywhere. It's like obscure, which this one was a little bit easier to find. And these usually retail anywhere from $50 to $100 just for the cards. Yeah, this one, I'm so happy I have it. And I have the original deck too, as well as the reprint of this. They just did the majors last year, the Ison Jushilev. So anyway, thought I'd share. So happy hunting, and don't give up. If there's something you want, go after it.